Vayeitzei Yaakov goes out. What does that mean? It's an allusion to your neshama when it departs from the upper world to begins its life in this world. Let's start word by word. The neshama leaves upstairs and goes down to start its journey below. V'nikra Yaakov, the soul is called Yaakov because what's wrapped around the heels of that neshama that's coming down with it to entangle with it in this journey, in this world? The Yetzer Hara. So the soul is sent down the chute in this world, and the Yetzer Hara is wrapped around the heels. He comes as a partner. It says he left Be'er Sheva. What is Be'er Sheva? It's alluding to this place where the neshamas come from. The place that neshamas come from in Shemaim is called Be'er Sheva. So the neshama comes down. Yaakov means ekev, heel. What's wrapped around the heel of the neshama? The Yetzer Hara. Why is it called Be'er Sheva? Because what does Hashem make the neshama do before it leaves Shemaim? Take an oath. Be a good boy. When you go down there, don't violate the Torah's word in your journey in this world. So it takes that oath. That's why it's called, it comes to a place called Be'er Sheva, but it has two meanings actually. Sheva means shvua, take an oath. You can do your best to perform. And it says Vayelech Harana, and he was going to Haran because that's where he was commanded to go look for a wife. What does Haran mean? That the Yetzer Hara, which until now kept the souls to its heels, now goes into the womb. Cherem is womb. Now he no longer is on the very periphery of a human being. He now is involved in every aspect of your life. V'ifgaba makom. In the next word it says, and he lied down there to daven, which literally means he encountered the place, but it means he davened to Hashem. How do we know about the concept of, how do we know about Shachris? Vayeshkem Avraham, he got up in the morning to go do what? The Akedah. How do we know Mincha by Yitzchak? And he went out to sojourn in the field, waiting for Rivka. And Yaakov, how do we know about that he was responsible for Ma'ariv? He prayed there. Adam, and this is the fundamental concept. We just told you that the Yetzer Hara now occupies a person, the womb and the entire being. What's the only way to deal with him and to defend yourself from him? Daven. In this world, the key to success is prayer, right? And it says there, he lied down because the sun came, because the sun had set. What does that tell us? For you have to behave in this way until you leave this world when your sun sets. Until your sun sets, you have one missile. You have one mechanism to deal with it, and that's going to be tefillah. And he takes from the stones of the place. What's the stones? What is that referring to in this world? Amar Rishon ben Lakish, a person should constantly overpower his Yetzer Tov to fight against his Yetzer Hara. And if he vanquishes the Yetzer Hara, fine. But if not, he should study Torah. And Torah will protect you against the Yetzer Hara. So when it says when he took from the stones to make like a pillow for himself, he took from the building blocks of the world, which is what? Torah. Because it says Hashem looked into the Torah, and what did he do? He built the world. Istaka be'oraisa, Hashem looked at the Torah, and he built the world. He took the blueprint of this world from the Torah. So if you want to make it in this world, you want to get through this world safe and sound, you take from the building blocks of the world. Avnei hamakom, which is what? Eli? Torah. Another way to understand the stones, and he tells us the Orach Chaim, the stones of the place means through studying the Torah, the Yetzer Hara is stoned. Like skila, you stone him, get rid of him. Right, that's the only weapon that you really have. This is consistent with what the rabbis tell us in Sota, that a person who learns Torah protects himself from the Yetzer Hara while he's engaged in it. And even when he's doing business, but his class in the morning is his shield. His class at night is his shield. So that even when he's not learning Torah, there it is, protecting him. The Pasuk tells us, he placed it, Vayasem, and he placed the stones, Mera Ashotav, behind his what, Eli? His head, right? In preparation to go to sleep. Which means it conveys a similar lesson to what the rabbis tell us in the Gemara. If you did not vanquish the Yetzer Hara by studying Torah, then what did it tell us in Maseches Brachos? Say Kriya Shema when you go to sleep. That's going to help you overcome your temptations. That's why it says, and he lied down in that place, to convey the lesson which the Gemara teaches us. If you did not vanquish your Yetzer Hara, and you tried to learn, and he's still bothering you, and he's tempting you, and you went to say Be'atam Kriya Shema, and he's still tempting you, then V'yishkav makom, Realize that. Right? What does the Gemara tell us in Maseches Brachos? What's the last thing you should do if everything else fails? Think about the day of your death, when you lie down. That is what the pasuk tells us. And he laid down in that place. When it says Yaakov laid down, it alludes to lying down in the grave when a person goes the way of the world. Just like David HaMelech said to his son Shlomo, I'm going in the way of the world. I'm about to check out. After fulfilling all these conditions, rallying his Yetzer Tov to fight for control of his behavior and saying Shema, you're guaranteed to vanquish the Yetzer Hara.